Hello, everybody. John here. Welcome back. I'm at work yet again, so sorry for the background music. The next topic I want to talk about is and it's the Ruby crossover with Justice League, the movies. So there's two of them, and Has Been Hotel. Um, so the first Ruby crossover Justice League movie, it was okay. I wasn't a big fan of it. I'm not a big superhero fan. My favorite superhero is actually Batman. Superman's next. Um, but yeah, it was kind of weird going back to Beacon and having such an emotional moment in the show, which I think they did um, decent. Oops, sorry. Hopefully that still stays. My phone's almost dead. Hopefully they don't do the same mistake as they did with this yet again. Was sorry for the bright light. There we go. I just couldn't get into it. I really couldn't. I think the bickering was out of place at that moment, and it was just, like I say, it was just weird going back to a pivotal moment in the show, and I don't say it was trivialized, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me. Now the second movie was really good because we saw a little bit of Vacuo in the beginning, and possibly what could be what you may say a branch off of the timeline between the Ruby Justice League and then the regular Ruby timeline. And I really hope that with Viz Media, which I talked about months ago, acquiring Ruby, we would get to see Vacuo, because we do see that in the animatic season finale of RWBY, sorry, Volume 9. So I really hope we get that moment. But anyways, the second movie, I think the second movie actually was a lot better than the first one. I think the team actually working together well, solving the problems with what's going on was really good. And the entire time I was thinking, oh my god, is it they have this little moment, and I've been saying this since volume 3, since volume 2 actually, since volume 2, volume 3, that Dr. Merlot is somehow still in the background of the show, and they kind of mentioned that it could be Dr. Merlot. So not only was it a huge shout out to Ruby's first video game, Grim Eclipse, but to the possibility that Dr. Merlot is still at large, because we don't. If you play the game on the hardest difficulty, which was I believe Eclipse mode, you hear his voice, you hear him laughing at the end, and that indicates that he's still alive, possibly on the island. And I've been saying this for a while. I think Dr. Merlot could be a key into the what we might see as the final battle. For those who don't know, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. For those who don't know, I have a personal theory for quite a while that the opening of Volume 3, the opening cinematic, for the volume, where we see this large crowd of all the good versus bad. We see Team Ruby, Team Juniper, or sorry, Junior, or some peace, Pira, and all these different teams. We see Atlas soldiers and all these other people storming up against all the, like Cinder, Mercury, Emerald, the Grim, all the, probably what's left of the White Fang. I think it could be a huge battle for Beacon to find the last artifact, the last piece. I forget which piece Beacon holds. But I still think that that could be what, might be the final battle will be at Beacon, because it may be the last one to have the artifact not found. So, anyways, back to the show, back to the movie. I think it was really well. I really like the characters. I really like the design. I really like the old style of fighting where it was like you have this cooperation between the between the cooperation between the characters, including with the Justice League. I think that was really good. So, first movie, like a 5 out of 10. Second movie, I would say it was like a 7, maybe an 8 out of 10. It was really good. I really appreciate it. I think there were some twists in there that were really good, and I liked it. I'm not going to spoil it, but a fan favorite of the show was in it, so that's pretty cool. The next show I want to talk about is Has Been Hotel. Now, I think we all know at this point that Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss has a bit of a reputation between its writing style and its its fans. Let's just say the fans of, especially Hell of a Boss, is a little or something. All right, I'll tell you that much. But I was personally invested in Has Been Hotel since before the pilot came out. I remember seeing like a couple snippets here and there. I think it was the first one was Angel Dust and Drugs, and the other one was the Radio Demon when he was introduced. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I remember coming home from college because I was in college at this point, and I immediately went upstairs, took a shower, got all my stuff ready, and I watched the show like probably like 3 or 4 times in a row. So probably like an hour and a half of just the same. Like I think it's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I forgot how long. First episode, and I thought it was amazing. I thought this was gonna be in a way it is a renaissance of new animation on YouTube, because after Has Been Hotel was announced to be on Amazon Prime, you had the Amazing Digital Circus and Murder Drones. First it was Murder Drones, then you had the Amazing Digital Circus, which really blew up. I think that got bigger, and of course we all know fucking Skibbity Toilet. Oh my god, I said the words. Holy shit! Those have brought animation to a whole new level on YouTube that has never been seen before, and the heights of these shows getting on these big programs is really big. Now I will say I like Hell of a Boss. I think it's a good show. I watched season 2, episode 11 the other day, and actually it got me a little emotional. It really did. I think the show's good. I think some of the jokes kind of get a little ham-fisted, but I think overall it's not bad. Now, Has Been Hotel. That was a whirlwind of emotions, because obviously every character has something they are traumatized by, and I think the most well-known character that's like that is Angel Dust, and there's been a lot of dissertation on whether or not is Angel Dust a good representation of abuse, like an abuser, excuse me, an abuse survivor, an abuse victim, or are they just not? And it's hard for me to say, because obviously I've never been abused in any way, shape, or form besides, like, well, okay, I shouldn't say that. I've been emotionally and mentally abused, but I've never been physically or sexually abused. So I have no idea how exactly the inner works of Angel Dust's attitude is. But from what I've seen in especially modern day, that a lot of the time abuse victims stay with either their partner or person who abuses them because of a lot of psychological manipulation and fear mongering. So I think in a way Angel Dust is an accurate representation, though maybe not necessarily the norm, but it's really hard to say. It really is. I'm not a big fan of like sex jokes. That's just personally me. So that's like was, a lot of people say, oh well, you're in, this show's based in hell. Of course, gonna be debauchery. Yeah, but my debauchery, if my version of debaucherous hell is torture and maiming and ripping apart and tearing and all that. So it's like, this is a fun hell. You can still have fun. Um. So yeah, I mean overall, I think the show did well. There was a lot of moments I liked, especially the final battle. I like battle scenes, and I think the last scene was pretty decently well. Um, my favorite character is hard to tell because I like the radio demon. I like Nifty. I like Angel Dust, and I like um, oh, what's his name? He's the bartender at the hotel. But yeah, he's voiced by the fucking Arbiter of Halo. That's pretty cool. Um, so also I want to say with Hell of a Boss, it's really really weird hearing Billy from Grim Adventures Billy Mandy say, "Are you fucking filming us?" That throws you for a loop right there. But it was funny. I once a year I watch that part on loop for like a minute or two just because of how funny it is. Husker? That's his name? Husker? So yeah, that'll be it for this video. I've gone on long enough. That's my opinion. I'm sorry I couldn't get really into it. It's been a while since I've watched these. But hopefully, it's good enough and you get my drift and yeah. So I'll see you hopefully soon. All right. Bye bye.